Bye.
Yeah, gentlemen, hello. Just about ready. Subsonic, hello. Mike Stein, hello. Oh, maybe, yeah, that's a good idea, Mike. Be a great pair to pick one to go for a third one. That's a great thought. And then Eric and Rob are also here. Hi, guys. Let's do this here. So I kind of feel bad. Well, I don't kind of feel bad. I feel bad I wasn't able to do this flight last night. I think it was a fantastic idea. But the good news is webcam is back up and running. So I'm happy about that. So we're a day late, and but that's okay. We're gonna still have some fun and take this plane from Montreal down to Boston. We don't have any ATC. That's the drawback today, middle of the day. But we still have some challenging weather, and yeah. So we're gonna still have some fun, I think, with it. So welcome in, everybody. I think we're current. I hope we're current, anyway. All right, I do have the flight plan filed, so we should be able to just jump right in. Oh, you kind of had to cancel also, Mike. Yeah, it does happen. It does indeed happen. Let's see. Man, I'm right on the money with fuel. We'll go just a little bit. We'll add a little bit. It's 13.50 is what they're calling for here, but it's like getting it right where it should be. It's not going to take long. And 34 passengers. Bump that down a little bit here, and then my cargo 848. So let's see, I already have 848. Let's bump that down a little bit here. That's pretty close, I think. Nothing in the forward. All right. Very good. Very good. That should work. Let's confirm. And let's get everything going here. Looks like I've got the GPU connected already. So we could go external. Do all that good stuff. Well, Eric, I've never done a snow stream before, so I was not sure if anybody would find the ironic humor in it, but I needed a break. We're, we are teaching today. It's a virtual learning day, so yeah, I've been monitoring my email and looking for kids that need help, and for the most part, I've had like 3 kids or 4 kids check in total. So I was a little tired of just sitting around doing nothing. So I'm like, I'm gonna get out and anyway, there's a bunch of like-minded guys out there just putzing around and in the middle of the day throwing snow. So what the heck? But yeah, I'm glad that you're a little warmer and even a little rain. That's kind of nice. We had a really nice couple of days. It was up in the 40s. Things were melting off, and yeah. Well, Eric, that's the problem is that my snow removal team is they're long gone. They've grown up and graduated and moved out, and so it's just me and Ringo and Louie here. I can't Ringo and Louie. So actually, yeah, I have to do it myself. I have to do it myself. I'm at the point where I'm almost ready to pay a neighborhood kid. I'm getting that. I'm getting to that point. All right, let's see. Hold on here. Oh, oh, kids at my school. Yeah, right. That's for sure. I have a few that they would definitely they would help me out. I'm sure they would help me out. But it's just tough to get around anywhere right now in town. I went to the convenience store to get some coffee, and that was a trip. I mean, it was only so like 3 blocks. It was a bit of a tricky situation, but anyway, it's all good in the hood. I need to turn some lighting on here. Yeah, definitely a just one of those days. You have them right. It's winter time in the mountainous region here, and we get snow when that happens. But like it's when they start naming the storms, then you know you're in for a doozy. And this one, apparently, this must be the first like big storm of the year because it's a name. It's Alice, I think, or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. All right, we've got all this good stuff going here. Can I pop this out? I don't think I can pop this out. I always feel like I stumble through here. I was pretty ready there. Hey, Duluthfly, thanks for the lurk. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's funny, Subsonic. It's like you just crave certain things, and that was what I was craving when I woke up today. I'm like, oh man, perfect day for some coffee and
Fixie.
hello, good fixins. Happy hump day. All right, it's looks like winds are favoring something out of the west here. I'm seeing 270 at 6. So I am not familiar with Montreal, but I'm guessing we can find something here. Probably oh hey, we could just buzz up here and take runway 28. Yes indeed, yes indeed. This 7,000 feet should be fine. Oh, what's going on here? Why do I have something? I must have had some baggage trucks or something cutting through me because I was like I felt the earth moving under my feet. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll plan for 27. Any moment of the day for you, Subsonic. Aha. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Pixie got her cleared out. Did okay. Um, it's uh, since it's probably put another oh inch or so down. So I'm sure I'll have to get back out there again. But I just didn't know, honestly, if I wouldn't have went out and knocked that top layer off, like it would have been flat tricky because there was there were several spots that it was up over the top of my snowblower. So yeah, Brett, it's I say that every time. Every time I fly it, I'm like, yeah, this has got to be in my rotation more, and then I always forget about it because I have other aircraft that I have fun with as well. I've got a little bit of a problem, as you guys all know, a little bit of an issue. All right, oh god darn it! Birke. That looks good there. Yeah, this is the first. Nope, I shouldn't say that. It's been a while. I inherited a snowblower from my father-in-law quite a few years ago, and it was a big dog. It was a massive Kennebunk snow mover. It was really good. But then we went for like quite a while, and like just didn't have like we would get little tiny snowstorms that weren't even big enough to, um, to justify using something that size. So I ended up I ended up I think I garage sailed it or something probably 10 years ago. And then my kids were getting to that age where it was they were old enough to help out, and so I didn't really, between them and we were able to kind of take care of most things just with the shovel, and sure enough, that's what I did for at least the last 10, maybe 15 years. And then once they left, I'm like, yeah, I know the day's coming where I'm going to have to break down. And so anyway, a back surgery, a shoulder surgery, later, then I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, yep, I've got to break down and get one. So anyway, what am I teaching? Subsonic. I teach math, high school math, English, or sorry, algebra and geometry mostly. Okay, oh, you know what I don't know here, guys? That's right. Eric knows. 1 plus 1 equals 11. Eric, come on. Everybody knows that. Don't make that silly mistake, dude. No, that's 1 times 1. 1 times 1's 11. What do I want for an arrival here, you guys? What am I going to need? I think that they're taking us out, and if I look at Boston, it looks like they're using, yeah, 50, 11, 11.5. Let's see what the Theatus is saying. We don't have to guess. Yeah. You came to learn. All right, well, I can teach you basic algebra and geometry. And if you happen to play football, I can coach you in football too. um, all right, what do we have here? Looks like ILS runway 27, or the RNAV, tree 2, but 27 I think is going to be our boy here. Yeah, right there. Okay. As you can see, I'm not very well prepared. Oh, geez. And so I was looking for, like, do I want the gardener? No, that's going to bring me in from, yeah, I don't want that. I think it's the ocean that I want. that I want. Yeah, the ocean takes me out here. Perfect. Ocean to Scup. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's put that in here. Now we need a enter arrival. We're going to go to Boston, and then yeah, we have possibilities. We have possibilities for after that. You guys, we've had actually a couple suggestions: Albany and Syracuse, and I actually like both of those options. I think I'd probably opt for Albany just because we just hit Syracuse doing the Winterlude. I need Scup, don't I? Transition. This is interesting. Take a look here. Let me show you what I'm seeing. I can't scoot over. All right, so I don't see Scup here. I do see Kennebunk, and that's maybe what I'm gonna choose because the others are out here. AJ Burns, I think it's down. Merritt Burns, yeah. So we'll do Kennebunk. Excuse me, guys. Apologies for that. All right. And then ILS runway 2. 7. Yep. AB transition. I'm almost positive that's what that is. ILS 27. Yep, AB. Right out there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Indeed am, Brett. I am Mr. Safety, Mr. Checklist, Mr. Procedure. And all I was thinking about today was how somebody had turned the snow settings up in my little snowplow sim world. It is. It's just quirky, but I do like it. Let's see if I have any discos. I do have a disco, but that's what we want because that's the transition to that's the initial fix for the ILS. So we'll leave that. Everybody else looks good. Loner. Makes me think of the song by the musical group Dead, which I do like a lot. Yeah. You'll learn here, not math though, and you'll also learn how sterile our cockpit isn't. Yes. It actually becomes quite the opposite of that, right? Yeah. Holy cow. It was really something, I tell you what. It was really something. Okay, everything is in, and there's my V speeds. Gonna look at 113 for the rotación. Let's cross fill. Master X fill from FMS1. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, anti-skid. Let's do a little test of that guy. Oops. Did I see him pop up on the overhead here? I think I did. Forgot which way his test. Up his test. Yeah. All right, so we're on now. Yeah. Yeah. I had to give up coffee a while back because I was drinking way too much of it, and I was actually having some arrhythmia because of it. So I had went a long time without any coffee at all, but I had some this past weekend when I went down, or 2 weekends ago when I went down to see some family, and oh man, I forgot how great it was. And now like I've snuck in a couple of cups here this past week. I've kind of been bad. I gotta get back to tea and Dr. Pepper, which are not that much less in terms of caffeine, but I don't drink as much of it, so I think it's much better here. Right. Hi. Fuel quantity is verified. That looks good. We're cold outside, man. -6. It will be definitely in icing conditions here, won't we? Everything is loaded up. Yep, we're all good. Everything's buttoned up. We're ready to rock. Everything's off here. Gear is down and confirmed on the Bravo. Flaps are up. And I think we're all right here. Doors are closed. Fueling. I think there's actually a light that shows that somewhere. It's up. It's up in the top, isn't it? Sorry, I just clicked on the wrong thing here. Somewhere here. There we go. Nope. Doors. I think that's all baggage doors. I think we're good there. I visually inspected it. Yeah, I think we're ready to, let's get the APU going. Power that guy up. And start. Start the valve open. Wind's blowing the propeller around a little bit. I love it. I love it. That side, not so much. That's so cool. Alright, how are we doing down here? Is APU? Do I have APU on this? I don't think I do. Nope, no APU. I probably have a setting that would turn that on, but that's okay. That's okay. Got some Congolese, and this must be some fancy coffee that you're talking about here, guys. Okay, I do have the airflow going now, and I just want, let's make sure we have all the sounds turned up. This is a really good airplane in terms of sounds. So I need, yep, that's, bleed is on. Bleed is on. Hey. Ron, hello. Yep. We are kind of snowed out today, so I'm home helping kids learn virtually, and actually I just finished my last class officially, so I am sneaking in a little bonus stream here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, so I can, now that I'm going here, I can disconnect the ground power, and yeah, we're good. And then I'm going to call for push.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
That's a very good question. Push back, dude. Where do I want to go? Push back with my nose to the nose left, tail right, nose left. Kind of down right there should be good, I think.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
That's one thing I do think is really cool when it comes to better pushback, is they do have those You know, the people from different countries that come do the voiceovers. I think that's kind of awesome, to be honest with you. All right, we've got APU bleed. Condition anti-collision lights need to go to red. And we're just, position light needs to come on. I'm going to arm that. I should turn the seatbelt signs on as well here. And what else do I need to do? Everything here
Okay,
looks
all
good.
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
I think I'm ready for engine start here. We're gonna go ahead. We'll do number 2 first. Well, let us get pushed back here just a little bit.
Strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Okay, parking brake released. Let him get us out here a ways. He's gonna have to dodge the.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Gonna have to dodge all the catering trucks and the fuel trucks and all that stuff here. All right, away we go, everybody. Away we go. Yeah, I have attempted to turn as much ground traffic off as I possibly can, but it only works on add-on airports. The default airports it doesn't let you do it. So all right, we're going, baby. Hey, buddy, lift that up. I want to see that. Yeah, already starting to build some ice here.
Thanks for subscribing.
Mike, thank you so much, Mr. Stein. 2-month reinscription. You get to hear the joke that I tell every time somebody comes back and reascribes. So and
Set parking brake.
I apologize if you've heard this one before, but it always comes to my mind when somebody resubscribes. But the 2 old ranchers are leaning up against the fence and they're watching bull riding, and the one rancher says to the other, "You know, I'd like to meet the first guy that thought that was a good idea. Just sit down and talk to him for a while, see what was going through his head." Second rancher looked at the first. He's like, "Hell, I don't want to talk to the first guy. I want to talk to the second guy." Thank you for coming back. I don't know how you got your first one, but doing the second one means a lot to me, Mike. You tell you how they didn't do it back in the day. You had some flight kills because of ground. Oh yeah, I remember the FSX days, Eric. It was a real thing. Like ground equipment or AI traffic. Like, it was a real thing. You had to be careful. You had to be really careful. Okay, after start, we need to come up here and we need to kill the APU, main bus ties. We need to make sure that the bleed areas are all on, and they are. our exterior power, we could have turned that off a while ago. All these are good there. We're going to put the pitot heats, and we're going to go ahead and get the anti-icing going here right now. We'll just do a slow cycle here, and I think I'll just keep it on boot air, honestly. We're just about ready to taxi, so we'll put that on right there. Need to come down here and, whoops, that's the wrong button. Let's get these guys up to max so we can start making some power. Standby hydraulic pressure, PTU, and just double check hydraulic 3 isolation valve. That looks good. We're gonna have to go flaps 5 departure today, so those are set. De-icing is doing its thing. Let's do a controls check. Rudder full travel, just looking down here, that's awesome. And elevator full up, full down. Seat where it needs to be. Windshield heat, just double check, make sure I have that. No, I don't. That'll go to normal, and the pilot side windshield heat will also come on. Okay. $22.80 is set and checked. Let's get our, should have this in already. Altimeter 3023. We're departing on the Montreal 1 departure, which is runway heading and up to 3,000 feet. So 282 will be the heading. I'll go back the other way, this way. 282. And then altitude will be 3,000. Beautiful. All right, that's all set. My nav source needs to be FMS 1. There we go. You know what, Eric? I don't know, honestly. I think I'm on the latest. I do think whatever the latest is, but I haven't checked, actually, in a couple of days. And I missed that whole fiasco with the latest beta conflicting with X-World, so either I didn't update to the latest, or did, but after the X-World fixed the problem. So, yeah. So I don't know, to answer your question. I know I'm full of information here, aren't I? Steering needs to come on. That's down here, by the way. Okay. Rudder controls, we did all that. Windshield heat, spoilers, nav and comms. Nav radio is set here, and this is not set. Whoops. Might be nice if I put the transponder on here. What is my code? Let's give us like 2,000. There we go. ALT. That looks good. We're squawking Charlie on X Pilot as well. I downloaded that today. It's installed, so hopefully that's going to work. I haven't had any error messages up to this point, so I'm assuming everything is where it should be. Trim, elevator trims at takeoff, that looks fine. The altimeter said aux pumps. Aux pumps need to come on. Oxy. Auto feather needs to come on. Flaps are set, trim is set. Ice protection is on. Pitot heat, bleed airs. Bleed airs now need to come to minimums. Oh, it's already been on minimum. Sorry, I can turn that up once I get airborne. Standby hydraulic pressure. Oh, actually, nope, that's good. Gust lock. We need to remove the gust lock. Really, I'm not supposed to do that till I'm lined up, but I always forget it. So I'm gonna do that. Montreal traffic, Porter 816, taxi runway 28 via Alpha 4. Montreal traffic. Trudeau traffic. I might be on 04 beta 2, yeah. It does play nicely with Global Forest. I really like Global Forest. It's very, very good. All right, you guys, here we go. Time to disc taxi. Yep, in fact, I'm doing some scenery work up in Alaska for our upcoming Bush League Backcountry Flying. By the way, Eric, Talkeetna area is where you want to start heading for Monday. Talkeetna, Alaska, just north of Anchorage. And we're going to do some float plane hops. We're going to go back and I think revisit like our second or third ever Bush League Backcountry Fly-In. Kind of back in that same area. Don't have floats yet? Okay, well. Throw some floats on that station there. It'll get the job done. Alright, let's come to a stop here. Just make sure everything is ready to roll. And listen for anybody that might be coming in. We will put the taxi or the landing lights on. Anti-collision goes to white. Everything there is good. That's all good. We're looking for 113. Runway heading up to 3,000. Montreal traffic, Porter 816 is departing 28 Montreal. No one on final. Runway appears to be clear. A couple of these places that we're going to fly to and do water landings, they do have some gravel strips nearby, but generally speaking, it's going to be set up for floaties or amphibs if possible. So just so you know. All right, here we go. Power is set. Airspeed alive. V1 and VR. Positive rate is indicating gear coming up. A little windy. Flaps up. I'm going to assume we would be cleared past 3,000 feet at this point, although it might be too late. Yeah, it's going to be too late. Let's go back to indicated airspeed mode. We filed 17,000. Okay, that looks good. And we would also be cleared to our first point here. So let's come down here and let's go direct to Burka. Enter. Should be able to go to nav now. That'd be kind of a harsh turn. It might not let us. No, it's going to let us do that. Okay, very good. This may be a little bit of an S-turn situation, but give us a chance for a couple of shots here. Reminds me of a goose. That's why I think I like it so much. Time for our thumbnail grab. How's it looking from downwind sim seat? Pretty good, I'd say. Other seat gets a view of the city as we head out. Lucky stiffs. Gotta know your airports if you're gonna buy your seats, right? You gotta know which side's the sun gonna be on, you know, which side's the turn. All that stuff is important. Alright, we're doing good. We're climbing through 10,000. Let's turn some lights off. Turn the packs back on here. And, you know, I probably could use a little bit of brightness, I think. PTU can come off. Standby hydraulics can come off. Auto feather can come off. And the aux pumps can come off. Let's go back to flight plan here. Flight plan over here. We're heading to Verka. Verka. Yeah, the kind of the shininess and lighting that they have done for it in X-Plane 12 really is nice, isn't it? Very happy that they decided to bring this plane over. I know everybody wants the 727 and the 737-200 and all that. I get that, but really happy that they decided to start with this one. I think I'm gonna turn that on. Does that give me that? Does that give me one of those? Gives me a little bit of panel lighting here. Might be that guy. May just be too. Might just be caught in that part of the day where it's hard to see really anything. Yeah, I like them all. I have all three of them. I like them all. And I wouldn't be disappointed if they decided that they wanted to make, you know, the 7.2, either one of them or both, a little bit of a payware update. But they didn't for the Q400, so, you know, I don't know. Maybe they're good. Maybe they're good with what they have. It's very generous of them to do that because it takes quite a bit of work, needless to say. But hopefully it generated a lot more sales for them that way as well. I think they're very fair with their pricing, honestly. They offer sales quite a bit of the time, and yeah. Oh, has it been that long? Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome. All right, we're up here at cruise. We're gonna pull the power down a little bit. These guys need to come to 850. And I have blown right through my cruise altitude here, haven't I, guys? Select the altitude. I have to do a little descent of shame. Must not have got that. Must not have got that armed like I thought. So let's do a little vertical speed, about 500. Let's arm the altitude this time. Oh, and I don't need to actually reset my altimeter to standard either. I should have left it. That's okay. We're in the visible moisture, guys, so we're gonna have to keep track of everything. Just see how it goes. It's going to be an issue really the entire way, because this is the part that I've taken off. Quite a bit of stormy activity just to the south of us here. I think we'll be okay. We may have some stuff as we head to Boston, but right now nothing's going on. The visibility is dropping a little bit, but if we turn and go to Albany, where are you? Albany, you're in here somewhere, right? Albany. Syracuse is there. Anyway, it's everybody's pink dot, red dot in here. So that second leg, if we end up doing it, could be a very interesting weather leg, to say the least. Yeah, and that's subsonic. That's what I ended up doing is would just wait for it to go on sale, and I picked them up one at a time, and I liked the 727 and the 737 so much though that when the Q400 came out, I just bought it first day. I didn't wait. I'm like, nope. I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's an awesome organization, awesome development group, and it is surprising at just how small of a team they really are. Because you're right, it was for the longest time kind of a one-man deal. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Wait, no, this doesn't have the cabin crew. Please take your seats for landing, all that stuff. I think we will do into Boston. I think they probably have us over here. I think this is the international area. This is the like Charlie terminal. I think this is the Echo terminal. I think that's kind of where. Oh yeah, right up here, right up here. I think we'll just try to kind of come to the north end and find a gate here, and then yeah, then I think we might. I think we may make a stab at Albany. I will have to take a break and give my pups their dinner, so expect a momentary lull, but maybe I can do that while the passengers are loading and unloading. Well, we made it to cruise. So far, so good. I think we're up above most of the icing, maybe. I don't know. We still have some stuff showing on the windshield there, so we're not completely out of the woods, but we can Volanta stock. Here's what the world looks like via Volanta again. All kinds of good stuff going on right down here. All kinds of good stuff. I should have a flight plan from there. Yeah, that'll work. Yep, down in there. Expecting some business on the approach here. So maybe pushing minimums here. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Right now Boston reporting. Let's update this.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric, so I was meaning to put out a little update on that. So here's what's happened. First of all, the family's super excited. Actually, the two people that it's going to, they don't know about it yet. But the extended family, very excited, very appreciative. I didn't realize it took as long as it did to get it from PayPal into my bank account. So, so two things kind of got in the way of that. Number one is I had to head out of town early last week, right after the stream actually, and so it's ready to rock and roll now. About a week and a half later than I wanted it to, but now we have Snowpocalypse 2023, so I'm unable to deliver. So anyway, I'm gonna this coming Sunday, I'm gonna give it to the family and let them take it to the couple. So yeah, but I kind of thought like it'd be pretty instant, to connect from PayPal to my bank. No, that's not how it works. So I mean, you can, but it's a fee if you do it that way, and so I opted for the free, and it takes 3 to 5 days or something like that. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Thanks for asking about that, by the way. 1 to 3 days is what you're seeing. Yeah, free. There you go. All right. Anyway, we're back here. Boston broken at 8, overcast at 20. So not horrible right now. Not horrible right now. But yeah, should be pretty dang cool. No doubt about it. Still amazed that we were able to pull that off. That's phenomenal. Okay, I need to brief my arrival here. It's only an hour and 4 minutes on the flight time, so let's do this. We are on the Ocean 5 arrival. As you can see, we're well on our way. It's the Kennebunk transition, and we'll be down here to Scup and Ocean. We need to be between 14 and 9,000 there. As we turn inbound, we need to be above Niner at Terry. And actually, I take it back. I think we're going AB here because we're going with the runway 27. So we need to be 6,210 knots at AB. Also at Ocean, we need to be 250. And then just double check this here. Yeah, we're down here. AB 6,000, then Klein 4,000, Loner 3,000, and Rip It at 1,700, and that's where we'll see is 6.4. That's when we'll expect to pick up the glide slope, and we'll head on in there. We've got missed approach climb to 3,000 on the Boston VOR 268 out to the Bosox intersection and hold. So that's pretty much just kind of a straight shot out runway heading and hold at Bosox. we will be ILS, so our decision height is going to be 460. Let's make sure all that's in. See if we can get the VNav to work here. It's always a crapshoot as to whether or not I'm going to be able to get the VNav programmed in correctly to make it work. But let's see here. Ocean. Yep, between 14 and 9. That's where we're at. Yeah, then down to AB at 6,000. So that's pretty much where I need to be. I wonder if I need to. Might not be bad to. Might not be bad to close this discontinuity up, just because this is sort of the. This is a part of that arrival, but it's also the initial fix for the ILS. Might have to think about that for a second. Bottom line is this: we ultimately would like to be down at 6,000. And we can, boy, I kind of feel like I need to get rid of. I kind of feel like I need to get rid of those. I'm going to. It's maybe not total protocol here, but in this case, I think it could potentially mess up my descent planning. Yeah, there we go. AB decline, and then down we go. All right, so let's do VNav here. Profile. We want our target vertical speed to be 1,500. We're still about 85 miles out, so that's good. We'll have that loaded, and yep. So we'll go past Kennebunk there. It looks like, and then we'll start heading down. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. I like it. I like it. When we get down on the ground, by the way, let's take a quick peek at our taxi. If we successfully land on 27, I'm guessing that we will exit here on Echo or potentially Kilo, and we would be given clearance to cross 4 left. I believe they keep the arrivals. Nope, I think they bring the arrivals into Alpha, and we'll be all the way around to the international terminal here. We'll plan on that, and we'll kind of keep our ears peeled too. If we hear somebody that's taxiing on Alpha, we'll skip over to Bravo and stay out of the way. Ooh, little framey there, little framey, little stuttery. interesting. Don't know if I'll see my top of descent. Should be past Kennebunk here. If I zoom out much further, I probably won't see it. Yeah, it should be in here. We shall see. Kind of bounce it around a little bit here as it is. Boy, look at that. Almost an 80 knot, not quite tailwind. 80 knot crosswind. Jarhead. Hey. It's running well. It's been good. I have still had some issues, you know, with the overcooked weather a little bit, the icing that seems to be maybe a little extreme, but actually just coming out of Montreal right there, this plane at least did pretty well. And we'll find out going into Boston, because I think we're gonna hit some pretty good icing going in there. But performance-wise, it's been good. You know, I've had to avoid the big events. You know, the FNOs, things like that. I have to fly those in Microsoft Flight Sim. I just get a better overall performance with all the traffic. That's what kind of kills me. Is the bat sim traffic really kills my frames. But for stuff like this. Been good. It was just a little choppy frame wise there, but that's the exception, not the rule. So I don't know, Jarhead. I don't know which. If I'm not on the latest, I'm on the one right before that. But I missed a couple days of simming, and they may have shot. They may have shot a couple updates out that I wasn't aware of, so I need to check. I don't know, I guess is what I'm saying. I have not had the issues with X-World that I know that they had, but I also know that they... Why in the world is this coming on? What is this? I do not need any of this crap running in the background. That's probably what... Why... Oh, Lord. Notifications. Nah, and of course, it will not let me turn it off. Awesome. That's amazing. Alright, I'm going to keep that in mind. Storage settings. Off. I don't want any of that. Lord. Who knows how much of this... There we go. I don't care. Free up space. I don't care about that. Let me do all that. I can take care of that. And the beauty part is, every time you have a freaking update to Windows, it turns all this crap back on, and you don't know. You don't know what's. Oh, jeez! Don't you dare. I may be crashed. I'm frozen right now. Oh, that's gonna really irritate me if that. Oh boy. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that was not good. All right. Eric is saying if you want to check under the general settings. Okay, so that's this guy here, right? Oh boy, I'm stuttering like a big dog now. Just as soon as I told Jarhead everything's running good, now I'm like all frozen up. Oh man, this will be a bad way to end this leg. All right, general settings, and then you said lower, bottom left, about X-plane. Is that what I need here? Nope, I'm only on 12.3, so I'm not on 4 yet. So I still have the I'm still gonna have the funky weather here. It's odd that I've not been prompted though to update, because usually it'll, every time you run it and there's a new, because I'm part of the beta, it'll tell you, hey, there's a new version, quit and run it. But you've had you've had a Vulkan related crash every now and then. Oh wait, had one Vulkan related crash in X-Plane 12, and now every flight has a little extra layer of fear. Yeah, you never quite know. You never quite know. Yeah. Yeah, could be, Eric, could be. I'll definitely have to give it a look when I'm done flying today. Oh boy. I'm just all of a sudden just super sluggish. I have this horrible feeling that
Hello, Valkyrie.
Mr. Valkyrie, hello. I have this horrible feeling that my computer is running some checks in the background that I don't want, didn't authorize. Yeah, look at that. That's just awful. Chop, 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 chop. Oh, and I'm trying to hop back in, and it is frozen. Oh, boy. All right, I'm not going to touch that anymore. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. Hey, Sparker. How are you, man? Well, and so yeah, I mean, I get that, but I guess what I'm saying is whenever there's been a new beta version that's come out, every time I just run X-Plane itself, it always tells me, hey, there's a new version. Run the installer. So it's strange that I haven't got that message. Oh, it may have started. Okay. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well, ooh, and Eric's saying I might be running the version of X-Plane that gobbles up RAM and does not spit it out again. All right, well, you know what? We can get on the ground here in Baston if we make it that far, and we can do a quick update. It doesn't take too long. Yep, I've got beta checked. Rob's chasing roof leaks in 5 different places. Oh man. Oh man. Alright, the beta is working really well now. A bunch of weather updates, Jarhead, yeah, and I've kind of heard that. So, yeah, we'll just, we'll roll with it. It may happen sooner rather than later if I if I run out of memory. I'm just about to Kennebunk though, and now, why am I not seeing? I should have a top of descent. Oh, and now it's kicked me out of my. Oh boy, I probably have done something wrong here. Let's arm VNav. Flight director mode in op. Oh goodness, what have I done? Let's try this again. It's I've done something incorrectly here, I know. Alright, we enter that. Maybe I'm already past it. Maybe that's why. Maybe I just missed arming it and I'm past it. Okay, well, you know what? That's okay. We'll just start our own little descent path here. That's totally fine. I'm going to go indicated speed descent here. And we'll work our way down to 6,000. Iceberg, what have you done to my plane, sir? Yeah. It's a big improvement. Good deal. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Performance is still a thing. You know, they could continue to optimize, and that would be just fine with me. Mm. 3012 coming in here. I'm going to tune in the ILS 27 113.3. Maybe I have, that's strange, because that usually will, when I put the ILS in the VR1, it usually will change this to ILS. And it's not letting me. Oh, I know why, because I have the frequency wrong. It's 113. That's 111.3. There we go. ILS 1 is set. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. Iceberg, welcome in, by the way. How's it going? Down we go, guys. We've got all the anti-icing on. We can hit, and everything else I think looks good. So yeah, getting a little of that weird kind of aliasing, ghosting there, but she's holding in there. She's holding in there. You're learning the 900 variant. Ah, yeah, very good, very good. She's a beast. She's a beast. No ice. As far as ice right down now, Eric's saying no ice flew into a cloud around -2 to -4. Instantly started forming some ice, not a monstrous amount, but gradually. And just outside the cloud, started to slow down and stop. Okay, yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, you're a SPAD guy, Iceberg. Very cool, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I'm descending, you're descending, everybody's descending. And we're picking up tiny ice passengers on the way down here. And Boston traffic, quarter 816 is about 20 miles north of the field, descending through 13,000. We're inbound ILS 27, Boston traffic. You know, until you hear somebody talk back to you, you never quite know if your X-Pilot is configured correctly. I mean, you can see it in your settings, but it's always so affirming to know that I've got it. We're just a couple of de Havilland guys at heart, aren't we, there, Eric? Those crazy Canadians make some pretty good airplanes. Dashing pilots. Yes. Yes, indeed. Flicker, flicker. Haven't had the light flickering thing for a while. That's always fun to have back on. All right, we're going to go there. We're going to put the auto feather back on. And oxys are coming back on as well. Okay. Doing okay here descent-wise. I should probably just go vertical speed descent, though. Let's just do that. That way we're kind of consistent. We can pull our power back a little bit, because we do need to get under 250. So go down here to almost an idle descent. Everything looks good back here, I think, you guys. Doon, 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 doon. We've got a little bit of a funky little jab step right here. So I think what I'm going to do, you guys, is once we get kind of closer to Nico here, I think I may take it. I think I might let it make the turn here at Nico, and then that's when I'll start to vector myself to final. If you're prone to seizures, you may need to turn my stream off for a little bit, because apparently the flashy is back. And I don't know why. Yeah, subsonic, I don't know. That I have not seen for a while. I'm going to blame, you know who we're going to blame is Jarhead. Jarhead had to ask how it was going. He enticed me to say it was going good, which in turn has jinxed it, and yeah, so it's all Jarhead's fault. All right, I actually think we're below kind of the cloud layer here, so hopefully we'll stop with all the ice buildup. Now, we could still have some overcast or some things like that cause some issues. And I'm getting a little slow. I'd like to keep about 220 here if I could. I don't need to get super slow. 220 to 240 would make me happy. All right. And yeah, we ended up down just a little too early, didn't we? Maybe I hadn't missed the top of drop. Yeah, I'm supposed to be up here at 10,000 at Ocean. Yeah, that's kind of what happens with me sometimes. I can start throwing flaps at a 195. We are looking for 123 on the approach and a 108 for the ref speed. And did I not arm my altitude? Maybe I didn't arm my altitude. Alright, so we're going to level off here at 5,900, just like the pros. Get my approach chart pulled up here on the second monitor. So mandatory 6,000 at 80. We're there already. So that's I think this next waypoint here, and then down to go down to 1,700 after that. Have that set and ready to go. 224, 223. Yeah, speed looks pretty good. I can live with that. Make this last turn here, and we'll vector. What's your vector, Victor? Get on the ground in Boston, and I think what I'm going to do is exit out, and it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch, but I think I'm going to update. I wonder if you know what? Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm not going to make you guys watch the update. I'm going to get on the ground in Boston, and I think we'll just take a little stream timeout. I will end this stream here. I will update, and then when I've ensured that everything's working good with the new update, then I'll fire back up, because I do want to fly. I think it'd be fun to fly from Boston into Albany. So yeah, and Eric, that's a very, very good point. Yep. So that'll be the plan, and then I can also take care of the dogs in between and all that good stuff. So yeah, so anyway, stick with me, because well, you can't stick with me, but check back in a few after we're done, because I do plan on coming back to do that second leg. All right, we're gonna make this turn here, you guys. And again, I'm going to go to heading mode. I'm going to change my nav source to ILS, and I have everything tuned up except for I need 272 as my course heading. Back this way, guys. 272. All right, that is ready to go, and we're actually not on a horrible heading to intercept. It's not quite the 30-degree intercept here, but maybe I'll get past this and try to go a little bit more direct to Pudge. I think that's Pudge. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do this. I think I'm far enough out. I'm gonna turn pretty direct to it here. 240. I think I'm far enough out, and I do have, by the way, I do have glide slope already active and localizer, so I can. Yeah, I think we're fine there. The dogs need they need their afternoon meal. It does kind of reboot them. A little guy over here, he's just crashed out. He's been sleeping for the whole flight. They've been outside. They love the snow, and so they've just been outside all day, just playing like a bunch of kids in the snow, which they are. You know, they're pups, and so they just get so tired. But it's kind of funny. End up quite a ways out, didn't I? Yeah. I think I might be still a good 20 miles away. Boston traffic, Porter 816, now 20 miles east of the field. We're inbound runway 27, Boston traffic. Sparky, hello, hello. Yeah, Beaver, I tell you what, Eric, it's my backyard just ends up looking like I'm just a complete disaster because everything's trampled down, and of course it's where they use the bathroom, and so it's got all those landmines out there, and so that's sort of one of the good things about when we get a nice fresh snow is it covers all that up for a little while. Sparky, how'd your stream go the other day? I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer. It just I caught you there at the very end, and it was Monday night, and I was getting ready for bed. But it was cool to watch you do your thing, and it's interesting to know that that you speak fluent Swedish. I think that's awesome. That's totally awesome. I wish I spoke a second language. Well, I speak Canadian, so and I speak English and I speak Canadian. So I guess that's kind of two languages, right? Right. And I guess I do speak. If I go to the UK, I speak English too. So American, English, and Canadian. So maybe I'm doing okay, I guess. But no, I've been trying to teach myself Norwegian for about the last year, and yeah, it's not going very well. But you know, I figured once Eric showed up, Beaver 524 Echo Alpha. Once he showed up, my my Norwegian would improve greatly. But surprisingly, it has not. I'm going to arm the approach now because we are. Why didn't it arm? Approach mode. Oh, there it did. Sorry. Localizer glide slope is ready. Spring Wake's infernal. When those landmines are revealed. Yes, indeed. Oh, man. It'll. What generally happens is if we get enough. Jeg kan skrive norsker, men det blir folk mer forberedt. And skull. Yeah, something. I can copy and paste that into Google Translate, I guess, but all right, grab it. Are we gonna grab it? We gotta grab it. There we go. We are indeed inbound. Very nice. We ended up just way the heck out here, though. Holy cow, we're still 10 from AB. My goodness, that's a long. AB is 15. No, AB is 20. Oh, man, so we're way out there. I don't know how. Forvert. Confused. Indeed. So, Sparky and Eric can have a good conversation because I do think there's a lot of crossover in that language. But my go-to when anybody starts speaking a foreign language, or I know that they speak a foreign language, is muy buenos noches. And I just throw a little bit, like 2 years of Spanish in high school, I can say about 3 things. So Norwegian, Danish, and Swedish practically the same. That's what Sparky was saying. Sparky, it was great to put a name with the pilot, though. Sparky's been flying along with us on some of the Bush League adventures. By the way, Sparky, we're going to do some float plane ops in Bush League number 41 coming up here. So be ready to rock and roll up in the Talkeetna area. Should be tons of fun. Brush up on your float plane ology. But always good to have more and more knowledgeable aviation enthusiasts involved in what we do and on the channel and in the stream. It's I learned so dang much just by watching and listening to what you guys have to bring to the table. So it's great to have you along. Yeah, we're going to be basically. I'm trying to remember if it was the third or the fourth Bush League. This year, of course, it's been all about revisiting the 3 years of Bush League backcountry fly-ins, and yeah, number 2 was Puncie Mountain. Number 3 was Pacific Northwest. So maybe it was a little bit later than I thought here. No, Cache Creek was 4. I could have swore we did. Oh, Roanoke was 5. That was a great one. Holy cow, we're definitely going back there. Canyonlands was 6. Well, I guess maybe I don't know my Bush League adventures as much as I thought, but hey, Jeffrey, hello. Here comes the glide slope. Oh, you're watching the end of the Daytona 500? Yeah. Yep. I had a virtual learning day, and I finished my day up a little bit earlier than normal, so I was able to hop on, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. When did we do? Oh, maybe it wasn't until. All right, I got to focus on my approach here, and then I'm going to look and see when we did the float plane. Maybe it wasn't a Bush League event. Maybe it was. I don't know. I thought it was a Bush League event, but all right. Boston traffic, Porter 816, fully established ILS 27. Boston traffic. So, Jeffrey, I'm gonna do like a split stream today, and I'm gonna update because I'm behind on a couple updates. So I'm gonna get on the ground Boston. I'm gonna close out the stream. It'll probably take me, with my computer, half an hour, 45 minutes to update, restart, and then I will be back in. We're going to fly from Boston into Albany. All right, down we go, and we're going to go here. I need to passenger signs are still on. Getting a little quick though. I'm going to go flight idle. 190 is flap speed. Kind of let that get away from me a little bit there. That's not good. Visibility though is better than I thought it might be, and the icing has cleared up too, so that's good. But that sun, oh man, this would be a really rough approach today, wouldn't it? Holy cow, yeah, you'd be kind of looking down here the whole time. You might need the ILS just because you couldn't see. Let's update heading bug. Decision height, I could put the decision height in, couldn't I? I don't remember how to do it. 460 or 490. And then it's climb to 3,000 feet. Basically runway heading if we have to go mist out to the Bow Sox intersection. All right, speed's good. First notch of flaps coming out. And we're now about 11.5 out here over the Loner intersection. Speed check flaps
25.
10, I believe. And gear coming down. Speed check, third notch of flaps. You're down 3 green. Holy cow, was it number 32, Jeffrey? You found it. Doggone it. What was I thinking? We did something, I swear, early on then. But that's, man, that seems like, so we must have done something different than, that I'm thinking of that was up at Talkeetna. That must have been a different group that we flew with. All right. Props are to max. I have lost my glide slope, so we're just going to start to hand fly here. Don't know why or how I lost my glide slope, but I did. We have plenty of time, though, to get back where we need to be here. I have the runway in sight. Have kind of slid to the right just a bit, haven't we? There we go. There's the glide slope. There's a gust of wind. And just like that, I'm 1.5 dots high. Ooh, yeehaw. It's a rodeo coming into this point. My dogs say hi, by the way.
Too low, terrain.
I'm not too
Too
low.
low, terrain.
2 and 2. I'm right on the
Too low,
glide
terrain.
slope there, T-Wasp dude.
Too low, terrain.
Betty.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, flaps.
Now I'm too low.
Too low, flaps.
That was
Too
interesting.
Low, flaps.
A little bit of a downdraft there almost.
Too low,
50,
flaps.
40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, we're down. Popped a wheelie for you there. 80 knots. 60 manual braking. We'll take this turnout here. And welcome to Boston. Yeah, got a little bit wild and woolly there at the end, but did okay, I think, here. Boston traffic, Porter 816, crossing 22 left. Okay, we'll clean up the flaps, take the landing lights off. We're gonna give you a little cinematic. We're gonna freeze. Come on, girl. There you go. There you go. At Boston, Porter 816 gonna be crossing 22 left. It's pretty. Definitely pretty. right, guys, gals, let's go that to taxi. And I would normally kind of start the, yeah, we could start the APU here. Forward left, I guess, is probably the correct call on the cross, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Get you going. And we decided we were going to go in onto Alpha here. I think they take the departures out on Bravo. You know, it just depends on the flow, probably, doesn't it? But that's okay. We'll come in here to Alpha. See if we can get flipped over by some of these big heavies and their jet blast. Oh, yeah, we're clear. We're clear. The other thing I need to do, Jeffrey, is I need to get with you and get the POSCON CSL packs again. I thought I had those on X-Plane 11. I do not. And I don't, for the life of me, I don't remember where to get that. That still, I think, is the best CSL package out there for general aviation. I just need to get that from you guys, or from wherever it's at. Yeah, we had Agent Bravo 7, and we had Starflies was with us. Yeah, was that just a VAT USA deal? Man, because 32, that was last year, and I know we did another one, but I could have swore we did. It was up there at Talkeetna. We tried to, well, I'm not going to give away the secrets, but we flew to 4 or 5 different lakes up there and did a little glacier tour, and I could have swore that was in that first year of the event. But I have them here. I have them listed. The first one was Idaho. The second one was Namaya Valley in British Columbia. The third one was the Pacific Northwest. That was the Linden to Ranger Creek. The fifth one was Winchester to Roanoke. The sixth one was the Utah Canyonlands. Seventh one was Washington, San Juan Islands. The that was the eighth one. Seventh one was a Provincial Park up in BC. Ninth one was back to the Canyonlands. The 10th one was the Montana Potluck. The 11th one was the Arkansas River Sandbar Run, and the 12th one was Kodiak Island. So it must have been year 2. I see that we were up there in event number 20, which is still feels later than what I remember, but that's, you know what, that's okay. Was a while ago. It was a while ago. All right, and we're just about there. Just about there. It was fun though. I remember we we had a hard time making it around the glaciers because the weather was a little sketchy, but it was fun overall. What's with the black cloud there? Somebody burning diesel back there or what? The heck, man. Somebody's got the boiler working full time. Oh boy, we're stuttery. We are stuttery. We better not push our luck. Let's just find a spot. This looks like a good place. Again, we will kind of be pausing this stream so that I can do an update and a restart, and then I'll come back. Might be a good hour. Just all depends on how fast everything goes with my machine here, but I would say between 30 minutes and 60 minutes would be probably safe. So if it's right now 10 past the hour, I would say probably safe at about top of the hour, or 10 past the next hour. So it's 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock. Sorry, a little past 3 o'clock my time right now. And so a little past 4 o'clock, which is going to be At 2300 Zulu. All right, I'll let you guys do the math on that. Sooner I get this thing shut down though, and the update going, the faster we'll be back in the air. I do want to come back and go Boston to Albany. So hopefully we'll see you here in just a little bit. All right. Until then.
Thanks for watching my papa.
Catch you in a few.